This is Kevin, Gamertag Manager. I'm bringing you a game of Domination on Jungle. And this commentary is for the last round of the Kill a Fries commentary contest. So I'm in the finals against Pupstar Picante. And hopefully I can win, because I love some sweet Microsoft points. So it starts off poorly, with a poor decision. Because like one of the other videos I put up, I was still trying to get these C4 kills with flak jacket on. And every once in a while I make a really bad decision about running around with the C4 on, and I guess C4 just doesn't work well for me, which makes me sad because I've seen a lot of other people do really well with it. But I'll have to live there. That guy with the MP5 outsmarts me, ran around the rock the other way again. And that guy with the MP5 caused me a lot of trouble in this game, and he caused a lot of my teammates troubles as well, because he's just wrecking us at the beginning of the game. Later on we stopped that and put him in his place, but for a while it was pretty bad. Although this is pretty much some standard domination play on jungle. We do start off a little slow and let the other team get B first, but it doesn't last long, and once we take that back we pretty much run them. So what I really wanted to talk about is how I think Major League Gaming, especially for Black Ops, is awful. So this weekend they had like the Anaheim stream. They have StarCraft and Halo and Black Ops, and I watch the Black Ops because that's what I play the most and what I was more interested in. But really I only watched like 2 matches of it before I got tired of looking at everybody's red dot site FAMAS. And you know, it's just, I don't know, it just wasn't that interesting. They're all playing like exactly the same way, and it doesn't really make for something that's great to watch, even though it's kind of good competition. But I mean, it doesn't impress me that all these good players go around using the best gun. Like, that's not how you prove you're awesome at the game, at least in my opinion. And it really isn't fun to watch, because like, especially in the search and destroy rounds that I saw were on grid, and they all just stood on other fucking sides of the building throwing grenades at each other, keep rushing B and seeing who could win, and it just was not fun to watch, especially since half the kills were grenade kills, so you don't actually see anything going on. I know part of me doesn't like the fact that there's so many rules. Like, MLG has all these rules about how Call of Duty is played, and to me a lot of those rules make it not Call of Duty. So first of all, it's 4 versus 4, which I know there's team tactical and stuff, but for me Call of Duty is 6 on 6. Then they take out the kill streaks, which is also one thing that separates Call of Duty from every other shooter in the game, or a lot of other shooters, until other shooters started using kill streaks like Call of Duty. Then they ban certain perks, and they're not even the ones I hate. They ban like flak jacket, which is awesome because you need a counter to grenades. It makes perfect sense. I don't know if I guess it's just the MLG's description of what good gameplay is, or what a good player is, that makes being able to nail a grenade from across the map from one spot to the point, that you memorize that point, and that's better than being able to win a gunfight or using the tactics that help you get an advantage. And they take out equipment, which sucks, because then you might as well take out Hacker Pro, because now that doesn't do anything for you. And there's no kill streak, so Ghost really does nothing, which I'm kind of fine with. But I mean, there's just so many limitations that don't even, like, I understand there have to be rules, but the game already has rules, and you can build some rules that make it more interesting to watch. And what I would like, you know, if I had my way and got to design what would be here, back in the gameplay, fuck this ACOG AUG. I cannot stand using this gun, and if I had anything without a sight, I'd just run it. I'd throw a flashbang and run that building and kill that dude, but I just don't feel confident about doing it with the ACOG on. But like, if I had my way with Major League Gaming, it'd be 6 on 6. You'd probably just, you know, the objectives and random games are fine, but I feel like there'd have to be some, like, the rules I would change would be ones that would make it more exciting to watch, more difficult to play, like require a certain set of guns to be used, like not specific guns, be like, well, one dude on this team has to use a shotgun, one dude has to use a light machine gun, like they can choose snipers, or I was gonna at first my thought was, no, they got to have a couple submachine gun guys, but then I realized they just use the 74, which is the only other gun I saw besides the FAMAS anyways. I only saw one of those. So that wouldn't really change it too much. But yeah, like, think about making it more interesting to watch. The commentators could also do better. Like, they don't seem to know what's going on in a game of Black Ops, and I don't know. They just never really made it exciting to watch the game. Although, you know, they'd get excited about when somebody drops a awesome triple kill nade, like anybody would. But it just wasn't good. And in comparison to that, I watched the EVO competition, which is the fighting games one. And I haven't played fighting games in a while. I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3 when my roommate got it. But I don't really play it like online or play it a whole lot. But watching those was awesome. Like, crazy shit is happening on that screen all the time in Marvel vs. Capcom. And like, they let part of me hates because there's some glitch that lets you do like a power move and switch out somebody else into their power move, but that's just perfectly okay in the game. Like, everything's fine. Like, we're not gonna patch this. You know what? You can use this tactic to win. That's fine by us. Which, you know, everybody can use against them too. So, but I mean, you get to see different teams. Like in the finals, sure, a lot of people use like Dark Phoenix and stuff, but because it's more about who you're good with than who's really awesome. And you saw a lot of different combinations of teams. It wasn't like everybody was the same 3 people, which would be the equivalent to everybody using the FAMAS Red Dot site. And I also watched the actual finals first. I just saw some random stuff from Marvel vs. Capcom because I had to work all weekend, which sucked because there was the X Games. It was 24/7 Nuketown. Then there was EVO. And I probably wouldn't watch any more Major League Gaming because I was pretty much sated after that one viewing. But like I was really liking the EVO stuff and watching people play the fighting games. And I would have liked to have been able to see some more of that, but it happens. I can probably go watch replays of it all anyway if I want to. But yeah, like watching the fighting games was just so much more exciting than watching Call of Duty, which is, I love watching Call of Duty, but the way the pros were playing it just wasn't interesting to watch to me. And that really disappoints me. I think that's one of the things like that all pro gaming needs to focus on, is that you're also, it's like the NHL and stuff, you know, when they came back from lockout, they made all these rules, like they got rid of the 2-line pass rule, and they just made stuff so there's more offense and it's more exciting to watch. And that's kind of the thing competitive gaming needs to keep in mind if it wants to, I don't know if its goal is to go, I'd assume its goal is to go mainstream. That's what you need to do, is make it more of a spectator sport. Like right here, this would be boring to watch, and you see a lot of these people just camping here right now. If it wasn't for me talking, or you don't want to see some guy just sitting there aiming down sights at hoping some bad guys show up. I mean, I know there are bad guys there, so it wasn't completely sad. But I mean, in like Major League Gaming, that's what you get a lot of. There was one dude on firing range just sitting at the top of the stairs of 10, not even looking out over B&A, just sitting there, looking right down at the stairs, waiting for somebody to come up the stairs. I was like, this is fucking awful. I can't. Do you seriously expect people to be able to watch this? Like, it helped that the commentators at least made fun of him. Well, they didn't even make fun of him. They're like, he's a really patient player. I could not do this. I was like, it sounds like you're complimenting this guy for standing still looking at one spot. But I mean, I would really like to see competitive gaming become awesome, because I like watching it. I like watching people play games, and I want to see some cool stuff happening. I want to be able to watch it on TV. That's one of the other things I was like, G4, you are theoretically a gaming channel. Maybe you could pick up some of this stuff, you know? Instead of, I think this week they're covering the Adult Expo. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. And they cover shit like that, but you're not going to cover competitive gaming? Well, that's the end of the game. 34-8, and pretty good times on Jungle.